What's going on there? Line with your hosts, MB and Klew. What's hey, everybody out there? We just excited, man. Wow, what an outstanding weekend of football, especially college football. I doubt that we make it out of college football tonight. We do have a little bit of NFL planned. And let me throw it out there now and put it in our notes. But the NBA season starts tonight at 10:30. Ignore that first game. The NBA season starts tonight at 10:30. Where the LA Lakers get on. Yeah, we already paid Kuzma, baby. Kuzma, we gave him that bread, baby.
Yeah, three-year extension.
Yeah, that's that trade money bread, baby. That's
Yeah,
that
yeah,
trade that fit in anybody's roster. That's
yeah.
how we do, man.
That's a
Listen,
good move.
Ron Palinka is hey, man. He one of the best to ever do it. And he only been doing it for about 3 years now. MB, it's amazing.
It's
He
that
was the
being that agent, man, that agent background helping them out, you know? Huh?
man. He moving them dogs.
Yeah. Hey, being that agent, man, getting them done. They know how to get it done.
Well, MB, we gonna start this thing on Friday. We got Bello in the house tonight. Oh, it is. Again, we get thrown back every time, man. Some kind of way I start thinking about something else. Ohio State University, man. They played the Northwestern Wildcats. I thought that game was really good, and I'm gonna tell you why. I like what Northwestern did coming out. They came out, held the ball a lot, tried to keep it out of Justin Fields' hands. And then Justin Fields wasn't having one of his best games, but LB. Well, they sure know how to talk to know.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I done blew it. Man, I done went right into the game because that's
I
what I was
know. But but that's all good though. It's all good right now. Hey, because my candidate for he's a problem coming from that
Yeah,
game, man.
it is.
Hey,
Well, I'm sorry, I done skipped. He's a
no,
problem. He's a problem.
it's
It
all
is.
good, man. Hey, you're a prophet, baby. You was just prophesying over there, man. You was just doing it. You doing a Don King setting it up, man. Hey, because the dude, man, hey, he was a prophet on the field, man. He was preaching a sermon out there. My man Trey Sermon, man, the running back, he's a problem. Hey, that joker, hey, led the Ohio State Buckeyes to a 22-10 victory. Had 29 touches, right? Probably 29 of those touches. Majority of them came on the second half because I was like, run the ball, run the ball. He was like, just feed me, feed me. And Ryan Day didn't want to feed him, man. Hey, he had to go pull a Hercules from Nutty Professor, just take a
Yes, sir.
play, man. Hey, 29 touches. Hey, 29 carries, 331 yards for 2 touches, man. Hey, he was a problem, I'm telling you, man, and he was just eating. I think he almost doubled his yardage in that game. I think coming in the game, he had like 300 something yards, and after the game, he had over 300 something yards, broke the single game rushing record for Ohio State and Big Ten championship. But Trey Sermon, he was a problem, man. He was preaching out there, man. He's a problem.
Yes, sir. And right off the bat, I had some problems too. And these two are problem solvers. 'Cause both of these are problems, baby. Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator we spoke about, going into this game, what was he gonna do? How was he gonna do it? He went out there and put them cuffs on Notre Dame and your boy he booked, man. Hey, he held him to 10 points. And you could argue that he held him to 3 of me. You can kind of argue that. Because, he's playing back up there. They kind of just, hey, we don't want let's not do nothing crazy. But he locked them jokers up. He blitzed them. He manned them. And I couldn't believe they were able to just dominate the way they did. Listen, your boy Brent Venables, he's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, no doubt. He's like a mad scientist, man. He's definitely a problem. And I'm gonna stay on the defensive side, man. And I need to look test me, COVID test me right quick, right here, because I'm going Oklahoma University, Big 12 defense. I'm going defense, right? Wow. Because when you talk about Big 12 defense, I mean they're on the milk carton, man. You don't even when you talk about Big 12, you talking about Heisman Trophy winner, especially coming out of Oklahoma. You ain't talking about defense at all, right? Hey, but Oklahoma, they defense showed up. Hey, had 3 interceptions, man. Had one in the red zone early in the game. Hey, had another one in the third quarter, and then on top of that, bro, hey, sealed the game with another pick. All right, 3 picks, man, to let Oklahoma University get that W, man. Oklahoma defense, their problem. You okay, Klew? You muted. I can't hear you. You muted.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get. Hey, I think they saying out there my sound is going in and out, so I'm trying to put this mic on here. Trying to get this mic on here real quick. See if I can change up something. But man, my next problem. Hey, this guy right here balled out. He was the missing link from the Notre Dame game, part 1. Notre Dame Clemson part 1. That guy was Trevor Lawrence. He ended up going for 3 touchdowns total, rush for 1. Listen, threw for 2. And I think it'll be the most amazing part about what he did was the fact that he was able to rush for 90 yards. Trevor Lawrence, Heisman Trophy candidate once again. He's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I was surprised about that with his feet, man. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Hey, I'm gonna go also, man. I may mess up his name, but the dude from LSU receiver, man, young gun Keyshawn Boutte, Bobby Boucher, man. Hey, 14 catches, 308 yards. Yes, that's not a typo. 308 yards. He had more yardage than Notre Dame offense. All right, and had 3 touches too. Yo, against Ole Miss defense receiver, our freshman quarterback, man, they rolling, baby. LSU trying to show you what they working with, man. Hey, he's getting it done. Bobby Boucher, he's showing that receiver. He's a problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's funny, man. I got another problem. Hey, listen, that guy over there with them Bama boys, and oh my goodness, Devontae Smith. Listen, did his thing once again. Ball till he fell. Hey, all over the football field, MB. He did his thing. He let me see here, MB. I can't even find my notes. I'm trying to put this thing back on here. He ended up with 15 grams. 15 grams, MB. Throw him the darn ball. He reminded me a little bit of Keyshawn Johnson. 15 grams, 184 yards, 2 touches. Yo Heisman, Mr. Devonta Smith. Listen, that's y'all Heisman, man. Listen, you know, we said him, and you felt like, and I agree with you, that Trask was the lead candidate. He didn't play so well the week before, but you felt like head to head how he did against Alabama was going to really mean a whole lot. He didn't do bad, but I'm going to tell you who stood out above all the rest, and that was Devonta Smith. He's a problem.
You know what? And I was thinking about it because, I said this is the game where really you got the 3 finalists in the game that, I mean, based on who played a great game, could put them over the top, you know?
Right.
And I said, Trask, he needed was the Dumb and Dumber moment where, so you say we got a chance, right? If he can somehow lead Florida Gators over, upset victory against Alabama, have a great game, he could have redeemed himself. But man, I don't know. I think one dude tried to steal that. We could change the subject. I mean, Najee Harris, he was out there bowling. I mean, it's really, you know what? It can. I don't know, because I think the commentators was talking about it as well. How I think last time I think was like maybe Alabama had 3 teammates that shared votes and stuff back in the day, and
Right.
somebody else won,
Right.
And I hate that's a tragedy because I got a big clear because I was pushing quarterbacks, Matt Jones, but man, I mean, it's like he's not even the best player on the team, you know? And so it's tough, man. I mean, Devontae, he showed up. Najee Harris showed up. They could be the worst enemy is just they can be going against each other. And then somebody like Trevor Lawrence can end up backdooring it, So it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Heisman who?
That's what. Hey, Jason on there. Who on there? Not Heisman, Smith. Who? What is in the water down there? Trevor Lawrence is the only player in the country that professionals at the next level are losing sleep over. He is the first, second, and third best player in America. Wow. Hey, I wonder who you're a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, but he could end up backdooring it just because they can cancel out each other. Because Najee Harris now his performance on that big stage, you looking at him and you see Devontae Smith. You're right, Mac Jones. It's bittersweet because every time he passes, it's like, man, help yourself out. Pass the ball to somebody else. Don't pass it to Devontae because he's gonna steal your Heisman vote. But he's the player, man. He's a baller, man.
I will agree with Jason on this point. I think Trevor has put himself back into the conversation so much so. I think Devontae's 1, he's 2 right now. I know Jason gonna argue with that, and he's saying Smith, who you ain't watching no college football except for Death Valley if you don't know who Smith is. So I'm sorry. Like you can say that he's not better than your guy, but what you can't say is you don't know who he is.
Right. And that's the thing, because I know when I was in college, our quarterback won, Gino. Right. And offensively, it was spreading the wealth,
Right.
And because we're number 1 team and whatnot, I mean, that helped out a lot, not taking anything away from Gino, But with Matt, with Jones, quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're tied at the hip. And Devontae, when you watch that game, he was getting more hype than the quarterback. I know they was trying to make it a quarterback. They'll show Jones stats, they'll show trash stats, but Devontae, man, he's getting promoted so much that, like I said, arguably Matt Jones may not even be the best. He's not the best player on the team on offense,
Well, yeah, and that happened to Gino as well. So I know you won't say it, but I will.
No, it didn't really happen to Gino because we spread the wealth. You, Kevin Williams, Lamar Tom, you had different guys that were spread out. It wasn't one guy.
Hey, you just named 2 that was better than him. You want
to but I'm just saying though. But for the success, right? The quarterback. But with what's the name? It's like with Smith, his numbers is just so crazy,
right? And
it's just like you can't ignore the spotlight,
right?
Like what I'm saying. You can say with us, hey, we're a team. You got different guys stepping up. I mean, right. But he's the main guy. I mean, they got other guys, but he's so head and shoulder. He's the main guy.
Oh yeah,
in the passing game that is just crazy,
Hey, you talking about him and Jason say he don't know his name. So listen, we got some more problems in the NFL because this is probably the only time we're gonna talk about it. You see, we done veered over off of he's a problem and talk about a particular player and probably a particular game. I know I messed up. So look, we're gonna go to NFL. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Another Clemson guy, Jason, so you'll be excited about that. Keeping Zona in the playoff fight, baby. Listen, Kyler Murray, 406 yards, 3 touches, 127 QBR. MB, and I'm going to go ahead and because I tag teamed these 2 guys, he threw 9 times to DeAndre Hopkins, 169 yards and 1 touch. Listen, both of them, they're a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely agree with that. And then NFL, man, hey, Buffalo Bills. All right, Josh Allen. 25 years since Buffalo Bills won the division, right? Man, he's a problem. Hey, threw for 359 yards, had 2 passing touches, right? Then don't sleep on Josh. I mean, Josh is trying to turn it up, man. Ain't turning out nothing but collars.
Right.
He also had 33 yards, but had 2 touchdown runs, so a total of 4 touches, getting it done on Saturday, NFL Saturday, right? We thought it was just college ball going on.
All this college, yeah.
But NFL, they snuck these 2 games in on them. And this game right here, Quad has kept Josh say, don't sleep on me, baby. Don't get me mixed up. Hey, he's a problem. Hey, Buffalo Bills getting it done, man. Josh Allen getting it done. Buffalo Bills, congratulations, man. Division champs, man.
Yes, sir. And listen, I'm gonna show some defensive love and show some linebacker love. Inside linebacker, cause Mr. Devin White, 12 tackles, MB, 3 sacks. Or as I say, 3 hugs. Because they ain't letting nobody throw nobody on the ground no more, so we hug them. 12 tackles, 3 hugs. MB from inside backer.
Exactly. That's what makes it special.
Wow. Like, again, what people don't know is they don't give us an opportunity to go FB. We might go. There's games in a row we may not even pressure. You know what I'm saying? You might go 2 games in a row where just because of the situations, who you playing, where it's best to blitz, you might blitz 1 time. This guy right here got 3 sacks. That's unbelievable. And not 1 time did he line up outside in like a bare front or something like that.
Right. Traditionally trying to get it done. You're right.
Devin White, he's a problem, baby.
No doubt. I'm going to tell you who else is a problem. All right. David Montgomery, running back for the Bears. Wow. The Bears trying to mouth resuscitate their season, man. 2 wins in a row, went back to Trubisky. And this guy, man, kept pounding. 4th quarter came. Hey, he was like, I guess he looked over there and saw Dalvin Cook, Dalvin Cook doing his thing, like, man, hey, I got to compete. You know, like you talk about the linebackers, you know, if I see a middle linebacker get 3 sacks, I'm like, okay, I got to get me some coach. Right? Just the competition, man. Hey, and this dude raised his game up, man. Hey, had 32 carries for 146 yards and 2 touches, man, to lead the Bears to a division wins against the Vikings, man. Hey, David Montgomery, he's a problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we sure appreciate y'all tuning in, and he's a problem. Hey, listen.
But hold on, I got one more, Lou.
You do? My bad.
I got he's a problem and they clown and kind of mixed all in together. Yeah. So it's kind of a mixture, you know. And Jason, this one for you, right? Because the Jets. The New York Jets, man, they were a problem. They're a problem against the Rams. Man, the Jets jumped out against the Rams, ended up finishing out with 23-20, a win, 23-20 victory over the Rams. Yes, the Rams, the NFC West Rams, right? Potentially got 3 teams that if the playoffs started today, that's in the playoff, and they beat the leader of the bunch, the Rams.
Yeah.
Right? Frank Gore dusted him off. Had 59 yards, just 59 yards. But, hey, deciding touchdown, all right, closed it out at the end. Special team had a block. Defense showing up. The Jets, man, they're a problem, but they clowning.
Absolutely.
That's what they clowning.
Hey, Frank Jesus said he wasn't going out like that 3 weeks ago, LB. He spoke out to the media. He said, listen, man, in my last year, I'm going to at least get a game.
Bro, they clowning though, because what this victory cost them what we call thinking for Trevor and flipping for Fields.
Yeah.
Now the Jacksonville Jaguars got the edge on them. This win, man, God, you can win for losing. When they win, it's like, what are y'all doing?
Hey, Frank did that, man. Frank said he wasn't going out like that.
Frank, Crowder. I mean, you had some dudes, Herndon. You had some dudes, they showed up. They were stepping up, man. They got some pride to themselves. But, man, this win, this cost them, golly, at a chance to get Trevor. Because
Trevor, hey, make Jason mad. Trevor and Dalbo, huh?
Yeah, right. The package deal. The package deal. Oh man, that was crazy, bro. They clowning, man. I mean, it was one of those games like, oh Jesus, you know.
Hey, Jason, they shouldn't have though. He said the front office in the ones climbing in the ice bath, going home sore, can't pick up or play with their kids. Those players signed to play to win. Man, listen, they clouded Jason.
Hey man,
Take for Trevor and Dabo. I'm gonna make you mad. They
yeah,
get both.
they should have called it Zero Blitz this Sunday. My boy, that's my boy. They got everyone getting rid of my boy.
Jason, man, we'll go straight to his game. Clemson Notre Dame, man. Very disappointed. Listen, we went 0 for 3. Pac Jam, myself, MB, all us thought that Clemson would lose.
I the Kool-Aid,
really felt like balance wise, Notre Dame was just balanced. That they didn't, you know, we never called them great on offense or great on defense, but they were good on both. Yes. But I told you, I gave it to Brent Venables, said he's a problem. Okay. Then I said Trevor Lawrence, he's a problem. Listen, Trevor did it with his legs. He brought and I guess what is it? Ugalele. He didn't bring that to the football field the first time. He threw better than Trevor. He threw more yards than Trevor and all that. Although Trevor did it with his feet, he pulled it. And I think that set the difference between the two quarterbacks, the two games, because now they had to also defend the read option in its entirety, MB, not just the give. Because even when Trevor started getting decent yardage early on, remember, in the beginning, you couldn't get your running back going. Your guy, ETN, couldn't get going. But all of a sudden, when Trevor started pulling it, and now you got to respect that. Now those lanes for ETN start opening. He started going, getting his groove on right before the half. And so I think his feet added another dimension and really put Notre Dame on their heels, and they were never able to recover.
Yeah, no doubt. He definitely was an X factor. I thought heading into the game, I was like, I was making a point to watch that game, and I was looking to Herb Street, and Herb Street called it out in the beginning. He said, "Yeah, Trevor run is going to be the difference to this." And I'm like, "Huh? Really? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Man, you need to check him for COVID." He said that, you know, and because even with DJ though, DJ when he played obviously he played at Miami, they squeezed him in. They brought him in to run. Right. He ran a quarterback power O twice against us, right? And I was like, wow, okay. So he's a big dude, 250 right now. I'm like, man, wow, that's gonna be the difference. I'm like, wow, but man, you look at it and you was like, oh my God. And when he started running the ball, it just opened everything up. Because I know you had taught, you was like, man, DJ threw 400 yards, and you was like, man, that performance was great. But Trevor showed you why he's special that game. If you forgot, all right, he's like, you thought you knew, let me refresh your memory. Because not only with the run game, it shows some I don't want to say athletic ability, but he did show some skills, but also just the checks and stuff that he put him in and just running this offense efficiently. And man, just the right read. Even the touchdown he threw on, they ran a switch seam route, right? And he did like this, right? And he was doing this with like afterwards, right? And what he did, what he was doing, because he looked the safety off.
Safety, yep.
He looked the safety off, and then boom, he got what he wanted. Yeah. And I was like, wow. But I mean, his full array of what he could do or what he's all about, man, it was on display that game, man. And you're right, man. I joined because initially, you know how I felt about Clemson, but I was like, Notre Dame, I like team ball, this snap. But what they did was they kind of, you know, because they jumped out on them and was efficient, right? I mean, that's the thing. Notre Dame is not built to come from behind, and they were at fault. They pulled the Miami. I hate to, you know, in the term of this, they abandoned the run so early
Right.
They're a team that's got to have a balanced offense to be efficient, because what Clemson did is it just reminded me of Miami. They got them on a negative play on first down, forced them a long situation, and then they blitzed him on third down, or they played zone defense and forced him to hustle around, and he tried to make some things scrabbling around. But they did an excellent job, man. But Trevor Lawrence, man, he made y'all remember don't sleep on him. He made everybody remember how good he really is.
Yeah, I felt like he played a great game, but also, got to go right back to Brent Venables, who was able to bottle up Ian Book. I mean, because Ian Book had 70 yards. Does this sound familiar? Trevor had 90 yards this game. Ian Book had 70 yards the last game. That was the difference. He probably had about negative 70 yards this game.
Oh, yeah, with the Saints.
Right. So it's, that was the difference of the game. You had one quarterback was able to use his feet. Another quarterback that was able to do a lot of damage to Clemson defense with his feet wasn't able to. They did a great job of bottling him up, keeping him in the pocket, not letting him get outside. When he did get outside, not giving him a chance to make great throws he had made in the previous game. And I just felt like it was a great team win. Trevor was dominant. I still don't agree with Jason. with Trevor Heisman. I think it's a two-man race, though. I think he's in that race, but I'm the Devontae Smith guy.
I mean, I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, they're not announcing the Heisman to January 5th. So the game, I don't know if they're going to have enough time. I'm sure this game is January 1st games are going to factor in there. So it could be this game coming up, who have the best game. Also, if my calculation are right, it's still not over. Trevor have another game like this and dominate, he could backdoor that thing. But also, I agree with Jason when you was talking. It's a point that Jason made. We give a lot of credit to Trevor, which is right, but having his defensive guys back, man, that was big. That was big. Skowski and 13 defensive tackle, I forgot his name, Davis, I think. Mm-hmm. Having those guys back, because remember, they didn't have 3 defensive starters last time they faced Notre Dame. So having the quarterback on defense back, that made a big difference as well. And so because they don't have the type of depth that he had, and then obviously their DBs have gotten better as the season went on. But yeah, they definitely get that done.
Jason always gets a little ahead of himself with them clips of linebackers. That's all I'm saying about that.
What happened? Oh, Tyler Davis, yep, that's the D tackle, 13.
Hey, he always gets a little bit ahead of himself. So with the linebackers, moving right along, I spoke about that Northwestern Ohio State game, man, and you spoke about Sermon.
Preaching out there, baby.
Game for 331. Listen, man, I thought what was impressive about Ohio State, if you can speak about something, is that they've been able to win ugly, and not just one game, but 2 games. And MB, you and I both know a lot of times things don't go your way. We see what Notre Dame did when things weren't going their way. They kind of folded,
they look like they choked out there.
But MB, you really
look like they quit.
But I wouldn't say that. But I will say I agree more with you about the coaches and what they begin to call versus those guys quitting. I think I'll agree with you. They should have stayed trying to run the ball. They shouldn't have tried to chase Clemson. But I think the offensive coordinator was so excited because remember the first 2 or 3 drives, he goes right down.
Yeah, they were moving.
The red zone defense kick him out of there. They ended up with 6 points, I think, being in there 3 times.
And then they missed a field goal.
Right.
They made a long field goal and missed another one.
So MB, in his mind, he going to run right back down the field. In his mind. And I think that's why I agreed with you when you said earlier you felt like he abandoned the run too early, because what he did was something twofold. He tried to chase Clemson. You know, they get a sack, you behind the sticks. Now you off the field quick and ain't putting nothing off the clock. Clemson start finding their rhythm and run the ball down the field. I think their first touchdown was the second touchdown was less than a minute. You know what I mean? So now all of a sudden, and then you go right back out there and try to do the same thing. Oh, we gonna catch them. We gonna chase them. You know, I agree with. That's why I agree with you saying they should have paid more attention to the run. However, we on this Ohio State game. Listen, Ohio State, man, they was able to come out and win ugly, MB. I think that was a real good game for them, a great win. Of course, we're going to get to what's really important about that game and that win. But what did you feel about that game?
Yeah, I mean, they Ohio State, especially Fields, man, he looked bad. They look, I mean, but let me throw this out there too, though. They had 22 guys out with the COVID, and they had the top receiver out, right?
Right.
And Olave
is his best guy.
Exactly. Olave was out. But I think that's all that's from. So they had some timing issues and stuff like that. But man, he looked like a kid that somebody took his teddy bear, man. He was holding on to the ball too long. Northwestern really wasn't doing anything complicated on defense. And man, they looked bad. But then that's what I'm telling when we talk about Sermon, I'm like, run the ball, because the running game was there right from the beginning.
Right.
And they didn't. I mean, they didn't go to. They kept trying to, win or pass or something. And you like run the ball, run the ball,
right?
And finally, man, somebody, I don't know, maybe Urban called them and told them, "Hey, run the ball at halftime." And they finally came out and started doing it. But to me, it was one of those things where that, like Jason talked about, ugly win. What's kind of happened when you can't have an ugly win against a team that's just athletic as you. And so, man, heading into these college playoffs, man, they gonna have to step it up. Obviously, a lot of guy defense, they start responding as the game went on. Ohio State defense started making some plays, and it's really the tales of two halves, because Northwestern was doing everything right the first half, and then the second half, their quarterback did everything wrong. He was responsible for 3 turnovers himself with 2 interceptions and 1 fumble, man. So. I was surprised. If this is one of those things, I know we'll get into it a little later, but if you had somebody else, like typically the playoff is set up where if the Big 12 would have had their act together, right, that Ohio State could have easily been pushed out with an ugly win like this.
Man, stop. Listen.
I'm telling you. No, I'm saying.
Well, we go get to that.
Listen to what I said.
We gonna get to that. I ain't gonna comment because we gonna.
Pac-10 was ready, Big 12 had their stuff together. Hey, they could have easily been pushed out in a if with a fifth, right? If a normal situation, right, they could have easily been not to win their Big 10, not get in because of ugly win like that. They look bad.
Alabama, Florida played, and I think I had a little Nostradamus in me in this game because Pac-Jam said, Joaquin said, we got to dominate, and we ain't. And, listen, I got to tell you, when Jason say Clemson going to dominate and Pac-Jam say Alabama going to dominate, that goes into one of my ears and right out the other. I don't listen to it because of, MB, you just talked me last week. Check the source, baby. Check.
No doubt. Check the source.
Right? So, Jason wearing his orange, and Pac-Jam wearing his tie, his crimson, right? So I looked at this game and I told you both, because both of y'all are on, but man, they lost to Texas A&M. But man, they did this wrong. They just sputtered against LSU. And what I told y'all is, I always say this: style make fights, man. Style make fights. And I said, as good as Alabama is, the best offense in college football is the Florida Gators. I don't care what none of y'all talk about. I don't care about this Trevor Lawrence talk. I don't even care about Devontae Smith talk. The best, if I got a chance to put 2 teams together, I'm grabbing Florida offense Okay, then I got to decide who I'm gonna grab defensively, but I'm grabbing Florida offense, and I think they showed and they proved it against the number 1 team in the country, losing to them by 6. And let's not, you MB,
I'm listening.
end of the game, couple turnovers, end of the game, couple things happen. Boy, this thing could have been much different. Alabama snuck out of there, MB. I don't care what people say. They snuck out of that one. But I knew Alabama would lose. Would win. I told you it's not going to be over 10 points, though. I said that from the gate. I said,
you said it was going to be a shootout.
Yeah. And I told Pac Jam, I say, listen, you lucky y'all don't have that raggedy offense y'all used to run 3 yards in a cloud of dust, because you would have lost against a lesser opponent because of their offense.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to pull out how many yards that they have, because offensively, I don't know.
They had over 400 in the air, MB.
Yeah, but Alabama had like 600 something yards, some crazy number, right? I was still,
Only? That's the only stat.
Yeah, only. So for me, it's hard for me to bite into what you're saying about their offense is better than Alabama. I think Alabama offense, man.
Oh, no.
Bro, I think they're. I mean, to me, Florida. Look. To me, it's not.
Florida defense ain't even nowhere near being good. And look what they were able. They weren't able to do them like their offense did a great defense allegedly.
Oh, they put on, I think, 600, 700 yards on these cats. How much offense you need?
Hold on. And then that's what Florida did. Alabama, great defense. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no. Well, hold on. Don't get it twisted. Nobody said Alabama defense was great.
They better than Florida's.
No, yeah, they better than Florida, but nobody said it's great. But one thing what I can't understand, to me, I didn't see Florida, do anything like special. To me, it's more so what Alabama was doing. They were like playing 2-man majority of the time. They was doing some stuff. I'm like, what are they doing? They got their linebacker matched up on a little running back out on the edge at number 1, trying to play man coverage, and they set him up with the double move. Their defense, surprisingly, I'm like, help them out. You're not built that way. Even like this one particular drive, you got no linebacker in the middle. That's why I said most teams that beat Alabama has some type of running game. Florida was running the ball with their quarterback going to empty and running the ball. Trash was running the ball, gaining yardage, because Alabama, they was playing man-to-man majority of the time. And I'm like, man, help your guys out.
Alabama went for 605 yards. Florida went for 462, but Alabama had almost 200 yards on the ground.
Exactly.
No, that's the difference. I'm saying Florida don't even run. They can't even run the ball 60 yards on the ground.
Right.
I'm just saying what they do, man. Pass and attack. They don't have to run at Florida. It's just automatic out there.
I'm saying I didn't see all I saw was matchup issues. I didn't see nothing complicated. And just like last game when they played Georgia, right? Because they run, like I said, they run the same scheme. They tried to wheel routes. They was just doing the same game plan they were trying to do at Georgia. They went to empty stuff, got them in man stuff. I mean, they just knew how to attack them. But offensively, what I'm saying, Caleb, I didn't see nothing special where like, oh yeah, man, they put some stress on the defense. They're doing this.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
But what I'm saying, though, to me, it'd have been different if Alabama would have played more zone to help those kids out instead of having these big old linebackers try to cover these smaller scat bats playing man-to-man all the time. I saw Nick Saban, like, over there with the defensive coordinator. I guess that's the dude on the sideline. I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they playing so much man against these dudes on long down the distance and the pass rush wasn't getting there, you know?
So, MB, that's exactly was my point for why when you were high on Trask, I kept saying, listen, he's putting up numbers, but it all boils down to one-on-one. Florida's offense, they're going to put you one-on-one with their guy. And guess what happens on their offense? They got to keep winning. And that's what's happening. So, yeah, you will never, if you go back and watch every game, you're not going to see great coaching, great scheming as far as that. Their scheme and their great coaching comes in the point where our dude is better than that dude you got covering him, and we're going to throw him a jump ball. And that's all you see. So you're not seeing anything special. You're seeing special players on offense. And that's why I keep saying, when even you were talking about Pitt being out of the game, the tight end, I said it don't matter. They got 3 dudes out there outside, and then even the running backs do a great job outside. Out of the backfield and expose the linebackers. They coaches say, "Look, man, our guy's better than yours, MB." That's all they say.
Hey. And I agree with all that. However, right, when you in 3rd and long, right, in situation, why are you still playing man? Like, help a guy out, play zone. Don't put your guy in that predicament to do one-on-one. It's just no different NBA, right? You go one-on-one. They're struggling. The dudes got more talent than you. What they do? Hey, go 2-3 zone. They go zone, and that's all I'm saying. I was so surprised that Alabama kept calling so much man, and they got matchup issues. So what I'm saying, I'm not taking anything away from the talent, right? I'm just saying, like, those numbers are padded because Alabama kept playing. They kept hitting their head on the wall. Kept playing so much man coverage that they didn't have to play man coverage in those situations.
Right.
Drop 8, drop 3 rush moves, drop 8, 2 zone.
But MB, you know this too. You gonna dance with the woman that got you there, baby. And that's what they do. That's what they've done.
I know that part shocked me though. That part shocked me that they was playing so much man in those situations, and I'm like, wow. Not to take anything with Florida, you're right. Florida had matchup issues. That's why I say having Pitts out there, that's another matchup issue. Because if you're gonna play man, those dudes they too athletic. And they're going to get it done. But if you could play zone and cover 2 and do some things and change it up, you can help your guys out and not put that pressure on them,
Right. I sure hear you. But I feel like Florida is way better offensively than people gave them credit for. But I think they all believe now. What game I missed, MB? So we
no, you good.
Ohio State, we went Clemson, we went Alabama. Who's left? Oklahoma and Iowa State.
We was just covering the big 3.
Okay, because that game, it didn't match up to these games. Even the Clemson blowout was still an exciting game. I mean, that's why I was saying I didn't feel like Notre Dame quit. Is I felt like still at any time they could make a run to pull it closer. I never thought they'd win once Clemson jumped out like that. But I felt like that's why I said I ain't feel like they quit.
Well, I mean, the game itself now, Oklahoma and Iowa State game was a great game to watch. Yeah, I mean, it went down to the end. Oklahoma jumped out, and then Iowa State came back. And they still had a chance. Then, like I said, Oklahoma, I gave a shout out to their defense because defense came up with 3 picks. And that last pick obviously was a difference in game that sealed the game. So it was a great game to watch. But as far as the whole thing we're talking about, that college playoff, who's in that top 4. Right. It didn't matter what happened in that game. They weren't going to get anybody in,
Right.
And so, but basically though, it leads to the conversation, about what you saying about the Lowdown, baby.
Yes, sir, man. The Final Four couldn't have been a surprise. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Notre Dame, baby. Are you not entertained? In my Russell Crowe voice. You've been bamboozled, led astray, run them up. Little Malcolm on y'all. Let's rename the college football playoff the P5S, baby.
Is that PlayStation?
Instead of
PlayStation? Is that the new PlayStation?
Yeah. PS5, baby. No, we going P5S because the PS5 been already taken. Power 5 champions, baby. That's what it's gonna be called. Power 5 champions. Coastal Carolina, Cincinnati, the AAC, Mid-American, Mountain West Conference, USA, Sun Belt. Yeah, those are all other conferences, y'all. Y'all probably ain't even never heard of. You have no chance. The college football playoff is built for the powerhouses, traditions, big name players, and money. That cash, baby. Oh, yeah. Did I mention making money? Should it be different? Will we watch Alabama, Coastal Carolina, and Clemson, Cincinnati if that was the Final Four? This ain't meant to bring y'all bull high down. I'm just trying to get y'all the Lou down, baby.
Okay, Lou, the Lou down for K Lou. That's your Lou down. That's the Lou down.
So definitely it'll be, I just put out there, man, let's quit clowning. Let's quit acting like we care that Coastal Carolina and Cincinnati didn't make it. Let's quit acting like we care, Jimbo, that Texas A&M ain't in there. What Pac Jam said the last show, name 2 players on their team. That's why y'all ain't got a chance. Jimbo, you gotta have star power. Clemson got Trevor. Alabama got a few of them. Listen, Notre Dame got Notre Dame. Listen, that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby. In this climate, this college football climate, man, it's about that money. Butts and seats, TV, and I'm sorry, I ain't even watching that game. Cincinnati, playing Clemson. I'm not watching that. It'll be, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely on to something. I mean, as far as in your Lou down, getting it done, man, it's definitely, I agree with it, man. I mean, this is something that been dealing with. I mean, we thought when it shifted to 2013 from the BCS to the college football playoff system that it was going to be increase the chances, be fair. But the commission at the for American conference said, man, he said, I never thought I would have said this, but I want the computers back. I want the BCS back, And I saw somebody did on Twitter, they did a BCS, what would happen if BCS formula would have happened, and you basically would have had Texas A&M in that spot instead of Notre Dame,
right?
And then you would have some other changes in that top 10. Because really, when you talk about the current setup right now, for the most part, it's the top 10 teams, and you talking about Cincinnati's 9-0, and the only thing they did to help that Group 5 out is that they take the highest ranking Group 5 and put them in a New Year's 6 bowl game, and that's it. They throw them a little Scooby snack, so it's almost like equivalent, like, okay, we'll interview some minorities, but we'll throw you a Scooby snack,
Right.
And it's like, man, it's not, especially in this environment right here, man. You look at it, right? You look at Iowa State, right? They're ranked 10th. They're 8-3, and consistently Louisiana Lafayette from the Sun Belt Conference, right? Matter of fact, the Sun Belt Conference was 0-3. The Big 12 Conference was 0-3 against the Sun Belt Conference this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Louisiana Lafayette. They beat Iowa State at Iowa State by 17 points.
Wow,
that's a bad loss.
Wow, yeah.
And and that not affect them,
Yeah.
And that not boost like Louisiana Lafayette. They lost one against Coastal Carolina.
Right.
Who Coastal Carolina, BYU tried to use them as a stumbling block to get in. They took that L, right?
Yeah.
Coastal Carolina, Cincinnati, one of the top defense in the nation. They got good defense getting it done.
Right.
But that's when the stuff they're looking for, strength of schedule, body of work, rank wins, championship. So I agree with you, man. Like Central Florida, 2017, they finished undefeated, and they crowned themselves the people champ and came back 2018, I think, did the same thing regular season, finally got a loss and still didn't get the respect they deserve. And they letting you know right now, like you said, Klew, is I agree with you, man. I agree with you. and especially even now in this environment, man, it was even watered down even more because you look at the top 10, you get Oklahoma 8-2, Florida 8-3, they ranked 7th. They had a bad loss against LSU.
Right.
Unranked LSU starting freshmen. That's a bad loss. Usually in the past, when you have a bad loss like that, you don't recover, especially late in the season like that.
Right.
Right? Cincinnati 9-0. I wish Pac-Jam was here because this is where they need to be talking like, man, how we be 9-0? We're 9-0 and you got us ranked below those teams, you know? Then you got Georgia 7-2 and Iowa State 8-3. And then Indiana sitting there. Let's talk about them. They 6-1. They lost their quarterback, but they beat a good Wisconsin team.
And only loss they had was to the number 3 team.
Exactly. And then Coastal Carolina 11-0. We talked about that. So I read somewhere the dude say, yeah, they're spitting on our heads and saying it's raining, you know?
So
I agree.
I know you went on a tangent, but did the did this college football playoff committee?
Yeah.
Did the college football playoff committee get it right? Did they get it right?
I mean, we said it. We knew what it is. I mean, because we knew that. And I was saying, I said, I hope Clemson win because I want to see like 2 ACC teams in it.
You called it right there.
That's what I'm saying. So I got a little worried though because that was a bad loss by Notre Dame, and I was like, oh, you know.
No,
but it's Notre Dame. You talking about the fans?
There you go. Talk it up now. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay. Here's my thing. Should Ohio State and Notre Dame be in even Pac-Jam? This question was with Pac-Jam in mind because I know he would have went off because he's been an Ohio State guy that don't feel like he's agreed with Dabo the entire time. They didn't play enough. Yeah, they haven't played enough. They don't have a good enough body of work. The fact that they played 6 games and everybody else then had to fight through adversity and be battered and bruised and LB. Let's just hit rewind button, right? Playing on teams, guy gets hurt week 2. MB, he comes back to us week 8. We out there at practice. Who making all the plays, MB? Who?
Fresh legs.
Yes, sir.
Fresh legs.
That's what we screaming.
Fresh legs.
Giving it to y'all. So when Dabo is speaking about that, it's something that we talk about with our own teammates.
Fresh legs.
Like,
fresh legs.
Man, this joker is flying around, and it feels like I'm wearing. Hey, it'll be old school. We got on ankle weights, and he ride here flying.
Ankles weight with the garbage bag on, trying to lose weight, baby.
Hey, so it matters. That's the whole point. The lack of games, the lack of bruising, the lack of because LB is maybe them first 2 games you feel like, boy, I'm fresh and I'm finna kill this season. After then, you playing with some type of nick, injury, a batter, or bruise. From that point on throughout the season, you playing with something. Everybody playing with something.
Yeah.
With 3 things. These guys out here fresh, MB. They ain't playing with nothing.
Hey, no doubt. That's definitely calculated in, fresh legs, baby, fresh legs. And that's a good point. That's why I was saying, though, say for argument's sake, like Oklahoma was undefeated, right?
Right.
And then the Pac-10 was their thing, right? I mean, the way Ohio State played, man, they could have been in jeopardy in being put out, but because of, like you talking about the brand and you talking about TV revenue, stuff like that, man, viewerships and all that stuff, man, you knew they were going to get in. So we know now, do they deserve to be in? I mean, you look at Cincinnati, man. Cincinnati, I think they deserve to have a shot. Texas A&M, I mean, obviously they lost against Alabama early in the season based on the old formula, right?
MB, they got 30 pointed by Bama. So the problem that I
You don't
had,
want to see that.
like,
You don't want to see that again.
and there you go.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had with Texas A&M getting in. If you ain't gonna put them in and give them number 3, then why are we doing this?
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. If the other squads was in, maybe you can look past that, you know. Maybe you can say, "Oh, they're much better now."
Right.
But it's about those ratings, man. Those TV dollars, man. Those ratings, man. Hey, ESPN, they paid their money, man. They got that contract for a reason. They want to see some good ratings, you know.
Yeah. So it was so funny too, because both me and my wife watched the reveal, right? And we sitting there, and I said before it even came on, I said, "Hun, you know they gonna start. Normally they go last to first. They gonna start first to last because it's." I told her this. I say it's such a mess. They already know we know who these first two 1,000%. The first 4 95%. So the whole point was to reveal who 5 and 6 was. How crazy was that, MB?
Yeah, that's crazy.
All the suspense came in to the people that it didn't even matter account.
Right. I mean, it don't matter being 5 and 6. I mean, as far as the bowl you go to, you pay out. But New Year's 6 bowls, that's the day, man. That's what I'm saying, though. But to me, that's why I feel like Cincinnati, they should have definitely been, 6 at least, you know. But yeah.
Now, speaking of 5 and 6, MB. Now this is where my heart changed, and I really was upset. And the question is, did they slap Coastal Carolina and Cincinnati in the face by not allowing them to at least play in the 5-6 game? And that's the game, obviously, that's Texas A&M and Oklahoma. I would at least put one of them in that game, and I was hoping number 6 would have been Cincinnati, MB. I was hoping Cincinnati was 6, so at least one of them two got to play in that 5-6 game.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't play in the 5 just because the 5 with the Orange Bowl, they got to take ACC, somebody from the ACC, which that's why North Carolina going there, and then they got to take the highest ranking non-champion from the SEC or Big Ten. So or Notre Dame, got to squeeze Notre Dame. Notre Dame always got this exemption. So the Orange Bowl, that wasn't a possibility just because that was the only New Year's 6 had somebody that you had to take somebody. Everything was at large,
Right.
And so I agree with you. That's why I said earlier about Cincinnati, man, that Cincinnati with their body of work, they should have been right up there. But you saw what was happening, and they ain't made no corners about it. That's why the commissioner came up and said something a couple of weeks ago because he saw, he said, man, we're not playing and we're still going down. You know what I'm saying? And they were just like, you saw what's about to happen. They were setting them up for the okie doke, and they weren't respecting their body of work. And he was the one that came out and said, man, I prefer us to go back to the BCS system. I thought I'd never say that because how they treating us, they're not respecting our body of work, Right. But you're right, though. Only thing, like I say, in this current format, all they got to do is sell one spot reserve for that Group 5 position, for that non-power conference position, only one. Right. And basically you get the low-hanging fruit, Right. So right now Cincinnati's playing in the Peach Bowl, right, against Georgia. And man, that if they beat you, it's like you can't win for losing. Because if you beat them, they say, well, Georgia really wasn't that good, right?
Right.
And they really want to be there. And if you win, right? If you lose, then see, we told you,
Yeah.
You win for losing.
I agree with Jason. All the committee did was tell the Group of 5 schools that they will never.
No, you know what? They told them, hey, go sit at the kiddie table. It's Thanksgiving. Go sit at the kiddie table. Take your plate and go sit at the kiddie table. That's basically what happened.
If this year wasn't a year that they had a shot, then they never will in a 14 playoff.
But we said though, yeah, you're right with the whole COVID and stuff like that. But we're not surprised. I mean, Central Florida went through the same thing, right?
We've seen this movie before, even going all the way back to Boise State.
Yeah,
when all of us thought they were good.
Yeah.
You know, and then who was that? Yeah, UCF again. When UCF Alabama lost to Auburn and UCF mopped the floor with Auburn, we still said it. Remember that game? Alabama loses to Auburn. The year that UCF goes undefeated.
Yeah.
So UCF said we national champs. If Alabama the national champ, then we beat the team that beat the team.
Yeah, the only way to kind of get over it, man, you just gotta have to teams like that consistently gotta put some powerhouse on their schedule. And gotta prove,
We keep going back to that too, LB. Does Notre Dame now try to join the ACC, and could this be the reason they got in? Listen, LB, that first question, I'm going to say no. They're going to give up all what they've built as an independent and that CBS contract to join into a conference this year. But I will tell you this. That's the only reason they in at number 4 this year, is because they were in the ACC and they played the ACC schedule. And if you heard the committee going back to North Carolina game.
Yeah, that definitely helped them because, can you hear me? Yeah,
okay,
that definitely helped them out because you look at it, typically the type of schedule that I'm trying to tell these Group 5 to have is have a Notre Dame schedule where you play a lot of different people, powerhouses, USC, and all these different people that you have, these Michigans that have these annual games that you play as an independent, right? But definitely they did the smart move on there. Hey, man, if we don't partner with the ACC, we're not going to be able to play this year, So that was a good move, and that was win-win for everybody in that sense because financially, it made sense with the dollars because they shared revenues. They had to share the money they get for NBC, but then also they was able to recruit some money from the ACC, So then they shared money across the board, so it was win-win, But for them moving forward, obviously, if things go back to normal, their contract with NBC don't expire to 2025, I think. So it'll be a long wait process before they even consider going to conference. And why should they? If they ain't got to join the conference, they get $15 million for NBC. Right, they still can, and then with the other sport have the deals that they have where they crouping money in other sports. Man, they got the king ransom, man. Why should they?
Wow. So, LB, I think, man, I knew this was gonna happen. This I'm calling a going through college football. This was a whole lot.
Yeah,
and I kind of wanted to end with the pre breakdown of these semifinal games, just for fun. We ain't gonna hold ourselves to it, but right off the bat, Alabama, Notre Dame. I'm gonna go Alabama and Clemson, Ohio State. Just quick, pre. That's without doing it at homework and breaking it down.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with Alabama. I think Alabama offense. Yep, Clemson. Yep, those who I'm going.
Hey,
I'm with you.
I had a lot of fun watching Florida play, though. I will tell you, I had a lot of fun. Them Gators got a lot to be proud of. And
I'm surprised by your comments about you would take their offense.
Again,
I'm really shocked. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised how you say you would take their offense just because every time in the past I brought their offense up. He's like, well, all they do is just throw the ball up, Yes. So I'm surprised from a systematic standpoint or just whatnot that you would take them because from a defensive standpoint, it's a way to take away some of that stuff, especially if you got the talent.
It was actually an attack on Trask being a true Heisman.
Hate on that.
If you go back to the tape, you'll see why I said that. But I agree that everything. Listen, I've just never been around a team that was that greedy. MB, who have you seen that could everywhere they throwing the ball, them boys climbing ladders to get it? Like even out of the backfield, like guys are beat. Like it's a mismatch For everybody, MB? Come on, man. You know how it is. We scouting different guys. We scout maybe 2. Man, if you special, we scout 3. If you St. Louis greatest show on turf, that's the only 5 you scout. Everybody says it's 1 or 2 guys. Who are you locking down on their team? Like they throw it to everybody. And even though you name this guy, that guy, and that was my point with them, is just the fact that even when you defend and you put whatever defense you have, they still gonna isolate one guy against that other guy, and their guys keep winning. I mean, they putting guys at the running back position, MB. Come off the bench, go play running back, and they running wheel routes on people. like off the side, like who, what's your name again? So that's what's impressive to me. I just think if they can clean up on defense, which is a big if, if they can clean up on defense, folks in trouble next year with Florida because they ain't no old team, MB. And seeing, and guess what? Any quarterback come out there, see, this is my hate right here. Any quarterback I feel like come out there and do a trash do it.
So you don't think the man do a good job reading the defense and all that?
LB, he throws in, consistently throws in the double coverage. Consistently. But he keep getting bailed out.
Yeah, he got some players.
Bailed out, so I throw it there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why you hear me high on them. It's not so much of trash. It's their coordinator does a great job of saying, hey, we're going to figure out who y'all trying to stop and throw it to the other dude. That's what we going to do.
Right. Yeah.
And MB, and we're going to do this with y'all knowing we never running the football. Now, that's the kicker. You know we ain't never running the football, MB. And we still going to do this.
No doubt. Well, they ran the ball. They ain't running. They ran the ball against Alabama because Alabama running with Kyle Trask. I'm like, come on, man. But that's what Alabama. They was trying to stop that passing attack, that matchup.
Right.
And they took what they gave them. So they kept a lot of time.
Running for 6 or less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Hey, Tyrone, what's up, T-Poo? What's up, that boy?
Oh, man. Well,
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get that explanation because I'm like saying system-wise, other than the wheel routes and this and that, I'm like, nah, I like that Alabama offense much better, you know?
I want the player. See, Alabama scheme you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When you talk about offense, now I got a better understanding because I'm talking about offensive scheme and system and talent and all that stuff. I'll take Alabama offense every day, all day over Florida. You know,
I want them 11.
Yeah, you want the talent. I got
what we running.
Yeah, exactly. I got you. That's what you.
I'll let you call all offensive plays. I don't care about that.
You can say just throw the ball, go deep. I got you.
All right, hey man, thank y'all for coming to holler at us. Stop through, pulling up. Jason, we sure appreciate your commentary, man. You led the show. I think you even shut down Double A. Hey, you hear Jason? That's the entire Florida playbook. It is. That's it. Hey, MB, and that's in more ways than one. That's the University of Florida and all the Florida high schools.
The feeder system, huh?
Hey, MB, we finally stopped the Miami boys from all the states this year. You saw that?
Oh, no, I didn't see it. I know who won.
They ain't win them all. Central still won.
Northwestern won.
I think Central's done.
Oh, Central won.
Northwestern didn't win.
Oh, my boy Roland Smith, baby, get it done.
Northwestern had a tough year. They ended up only playing 5 games, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why or what happened, but they actually beat Central.
Oh, wow.
And Central won the state.
I know my man Roland Smith, man, Patty, man, from the U. I think he had Central holding it down, baby. Good job. Congratulations, Roland. Patty.
Yeah, I think, and he'll correct me if he hear this or if he on IMB. I think they won like the last 6 of the last 9.
Oh yeah, they keep it rolling, man.
So,
they keep it rolling.
But and I also heard though a couple of Northwestern players was leaving from their state championship team last year, going over there. So that's what I had heard last year.
Now when you talking about transfer portal, it's on and popping, baby. And those Pop Warner leagues, man, it's on and popping, baby. It's
But,
on and popping.
Y'all just won the state and y'all leaving? Where you going? Like,
hey, it's on and popping, baby.
Hey, what you gonna do?
Raise your contract. Raise your contract,
renegotiate, baby.
Renegotiate.
Okay.
Nah, they get it done, man.
Man, we appreciate y'all for hollering at us, stopping through, pulling up, man. From Klew and MB, man.
And
Sideline, the baseline. We are gone.